Welcome to another Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today I bring you Wanderline. And Wanderline was brought to us by Tomas Padros, and it is an interesting tangle. It's a series of lines, a series of wandering lines that, crisscross over each other. Now, I'm going to do it with just 90-degree angles at first. You can do this crazy style. I need to try the crazy style because I have not yet. But here's how it goes. And I personally like to think of this in sets of 2 lines making 90-degree angles. So I'm going to, and then, and then just having it wander all over, crisscrossing back and forth across itself. So I'm actually going to start down here. And there's 2 lines. And when we cross it over itself, and you might lose track in it. I only think of this as in sets of 2 lines just to help me organize my thoughts with it. But you can just think of it as however you want to. And then I have ended it on the other side. You can continue to go with, see how long you can go on kind of one thought. But do cross it over itself because that will have something to do at the end when we do some shading. See, and I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to cross it. I'm just going to make a little a squared circle in there. This is it's oddly organic, and especially as I find myself just continuing and going. That is kind of neat. Normally, I kind of hesitate on these kind of things because that whole, I must do it right type of thing just is always haunting me. And we'll end it there. And knowing that there's no right and there's no wrong with any of this, as I was say, it's a peace of mind, sort of. It doesn't, sometimes it doesn't help. But it's nice. Oh, there's I did a little weird angle there. That's okay. We can do, I'll just end it there. You can do ones with whole angles. I'm making this one really complicated with lots of little lines. And that's going to take me a little bit. I'm just going to put a couple of these, just maybe alternate like that. All right. So we'll call that done. It's probably, it's just funny working on a small tile sometimes, and I'm using a 2x2 bijou tile, but I find sometimes that even working on the small tile, the tendency is to then go smaller instead of wanting to go bigger. So this one, there are a number of ways you can finish this off, and in the step outs I put a number of ideas, and let me see if I can do this all on one little tile. I have a larger tile that I can show you as well. Now, and maybe I will do like this. I'll kind of do it in quadrants, just because this is for, just for example. All right. So one way is putting in little orbs in the intersections. Let's see. So like I said, I'm going to try to do this in quadrants. Now, you could decide if you want to just do like the 4-way intersections, but you could also do, on, the 2 ways. And it doesn't have to be every intersection. That's kind of up to you. Oh, I put it down there where I wouldn't normally. So again, that's up to you. It has kind of like a sprocket look to it, which is kind of neat. And depending on the number of intersections you have, could, determine if you want to. I'm thinking it kind of looks really cool having it on all of them. So there's that. Then you could do that as well as, and I'm going to leave this one here since I have it. So down here, I'm going to do, oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that there. Nope, I'm not. I'm going to continue with the way I was thinking. You could also round off these corners. So I'm just kind of doing a little curve line, filling in, but it's hard. You have to work towards, well, my opinion, I like to work towards having it blend into the line itself so it's not sticking out. And then you could combine that, like with here, oh, I have 2 on either side. Well, I could just, you know, round in, do an orb on the 4/4 intersections and just round off the other ones. That's a thought. This one's still kind of part of that one. So we have that. It's another option, and which is, of course, you know, a combination of the two. And then there's also where you could fill in parts. So 2 ways. And let me come... Wow, I probably should have flipped doing this because I have a lot of little boxes here. So way 1 is you could do... Oh, let me do this. Just little straight lines. I'm going to take a big section here first, and so I'm just drawing straight lines, but I'm going to use this whole section that I have here, and you know, in all these little extra places. And then the trick with this is doing it so that way you don't put 2 together, but we would kind of alternate them. Like here, I would go here then, because it's not connected. And here, I would see I've got that little teeny box, so I would go here. It kind of makes it like a game. And then here, like I said, I'm just going to try to do this 1/4. And then here, we'll go this far. And then also with this one, what's really neat is to thicken the top of this. And you could go out a little further if you need to. So just making a thick line on the top and the left. Now, I suppose you could do the bottom, the right and the bottom if you want. This just kind of makes it stand out a little bit. Kind of like a shadow box. And this one, I'm just going to do all of this top, but then not this one here, and this side. You know, and if they're close together, I suppose you could just, you know, come down into the little box. Oops. But being consistent with, you know, the sides that you do helps. Boop, boop. And, oh, that's right, I'm doing the left, so then this would be thicker. And this kind of gives it that neat 3D effect. And see, like here, I did this underneath because that box is so tiny. Oops, and then this will go here. And then, so you can play with that. And that's, you know, it's just kind of fun. It gives it a neat, you know, pops out type of thing. Oh, and actually... yeah, because I'm looking at some stuff that I had done previously, you know, and even there. But again, you can play with it just to give it that 3D effect. And then the last item that you could do is you could color in. Of course, we always have the fill in option. And actually, I ended up grabbing a brown micron pen. I thought, oh, good, I'm going to see if I can use this one consistently, because the brown, oh, no, I'm sorry, sepia. And actually here, so I'm going to color, because this is adjacent, and this is when I was like, oh, I can fix that little guy right there, because I kind of went crooked to what I wanted. And so filling in being the master course correction concept here. And then here too, I could, let's see, however I would want to to fix this. Maybe it's going like this. And then, oh yeah, and see, then I could just make this whole box. So that's a nice thing. So if things, oh, not all the way there, just down to here. If things ever kind of go awry, then kind of keep going, but remember those little places, and then always hit those first when you go back to, you know, to look it over and figure, oh, well, how am I gonna decorate this one? And then this one you would just continue with all of these little boxes. And I don't have, no, I have a black larger. Well, we'll just do that in black. We'll see what it looks like. It'll just be a little darker. This is where if you have a larger, it was just a little darker, a larger pen nib, that's helpful. This is the graphic one, which is nice. Maybe I'll go back over these. Yeah, the sepia color in these is so close to the black that it's hard to tell. You can kind of tell I'm using it together here. The brown has a greater difference. So then, you know, it's just deciding which ones do you want to color in, which ones do you leave blank. And again, not necessarily on purpose putting two sections together, but if it's something that you said, oh, you know, I wish I wouldn't have done that, of course you can. So you get the idea here of how neat this tangle is. And I think I might try it on a separate video maybe later. We'll call it Crazy Wanderline, because he does put in the instructions that you can, these don't have to be, you know, right angles. They can kind of go crazy however you want. But the idea is crisscrossing back around. Now, shading. Also, several options. For, let's see. You know, let me do, oh gosh, that's going to be hard. Well, you know what? Let me do it this way. Okay. So one way is kind of like drawing a shadow. So I'm going underneath my lines and to the right. And I'm going to try. We'll just get a couple of these here to get things started. Oops. But I want to go under. That would be, yeah, something like that. Okay, this one goes all the way, that's what I said, down and to the right. So like as if it was casting a shadow. This is also why we generally don't worry about light source when we're doing Zentangle. You can see that I'm not used to thinking about that. Oh, and then this would come to this side. But it's just, you know, drawing it, like I said, just kind of overlaying it a little bit. It's one of those, okay, after a little bit, then you do kind of get the hang of it. And this one, I don't generally smudge this one out, but I would also add in, you know, the little orbs. And it does just create kind of a neat effect. Apparently I missed one. That one I didn't do those ones there, but that's okay. So that's one idea. Another idea is that we could just put just some, you know, some lines kind of here or there. So like, well, I'm just going to do this one underneath because it would collide with that. And this one, kind of like what we normally do with Zentangle, is, again, not worrying necessarily about light source. But this is just kind of just, you know, putting some lines here and there. Now this one, I would definitely use my tortillon just to kind of soften it a bit. And actually, this is so tiny because I'm using the bijou tile. I probably didn't even need to put graphite. Sometimes you can use what you have left. But both of those, it creates a different effect, and both neat. So you have some choices. And then, of course, you can gotta do the similar thing, you know, over here where you've colored it in. You could still put some shadow, you know, some gray on the outside if you like. So there we have Wanderline. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed doing this tangle. If you don't mind, like and share the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so you'll get notices of when I put new videos up. Right now, I'm putting up about one a day because we're working on the 100-day project for 2021, and so you'll see a lot of videos, and I do plan to continue that. So just doing these little quickies just to get a tangle out there with, just some brief instruction, just when you need to have that little bit of a tangle pick-me-up and don't want to invest a whole lot of time in watching a lengthy video. So comments are welcome. I try to answer them all. Ways to connect are also in the description along with the step out link. So with that, have fun with this and happy tangling.